This short video gives viewers a snapshot of Suipad, the first IDO launchpad on the world's fastest blockchain, Sui Network. It will give viewers a summary of Suipad's unique features, tier structure, and then tokenomics. But let us first begin by painting a picture of the current environment in which launchpads like Suipad are entering or currently operating in, as well as provide launchpad newbie some background as to what launchpads are and why they are important. In a pre-pandemic world, institutional investors were more willing to fund startups. However, given the pandemic-driven turmoil, they are playing it safe and investing in a risk-free fashion that is detrimental to innovation and startups in the long run. As a result, projects are increasingly turning to crowdfunding to meet their financing goals, yet often fail. So much so that nearly 89% of projects fail to meet their funding goals. This bleak situation has been exacerbated even more by the many scandals that unfolded in 2022. Here are just a few headlines stemming from the larger ones. As a result, trust in the crypto space is at rock bottom, and with that the financing that young and promising blockchain projects desperately need. This is the vacuum which launchpads are well suited to fill. Now, that was enough context. Next we shall take a look at what launchpads are and why they are important.
Crypto launchpads are platforms that allow projects to launch their tokens through an IDO. These platforms provide a way for projects to raise needed operating capital from investors in exchange for the project tokens, while also providing a safe way for investors to invest into these projects at an early stage, before they are available to the general public on exchanges. Crypto launchpads typically do most of the heavy lifting for the investor in as much as they screen hundreds of project proposals to identify the promising IDO candidates, before onboarding them onto their IDO pipeline, perform due diligence on them and then incubate them. During the incubation phase, the launchpads offer a variety of services to the selected projects, including but not limited to marketing and promotion, business development, as well as technical support, and ultimately access to a large user base. In return, launchpads may take a percentage of the funds raised during the IDO. After IDO, launchpads will typically hold the IDO proceeds in escrow and disperse them according to measurable project progress. This is a safety net that prevents so-called rug pulls, a type of scam where project developers abandon a project and take their investors' money. In this filter and quasi-fiduciary function, crypto launchpads are critical for investors as they help to bring more transparency and credibility into the IDO process. Post-IDO, the escrow function launchpads play helps protect and preserve investor capital. All in all, the roles just described goes a long way in bolstering investor confidence in the quality and legitimacy of the project they intend to invest in. And now it is time for a snapshot of Suipad.
Suipad is the first IDO and initial NFT offering platform built on Sui Network, the first permissionless Layer 1 blockchain catering to Web3 users. Sui's goal is to simplify the token sale process for IDO participants, increase pre-IDO project transparency for investors, as well as safeguard them from post-IDO risks such as rug pulls and token price volatility after TGE. To achieve these ambitious targets, Suipad boasts the following features. Easy IDO Launchpad. For the investor, the process from subscription to an IDO to token claim can take anywhere from days to months, for some projects even years. Suipad wants to reduce the subscription phase to 48 hours and the token claim to immediately after IDO. Sui Tank. Most investors are not subject matter experts or even technologically well versed in the projects they want to invest in. Even after tons of research, it isn't likely that they're going to very easily catch up when it comes to having the depth of understanding necessary to make informed decisions or critically question the project owner's statements. There is therefore typically no information parity between investors and project owners have no interest in changing that status quo, which management likes to face intensive questioning by their shareholders or investors. Suipad will attempt to close this information gap via a so-called Web3 Shark Tank. That will consist of 6 panelists that will grill the project owners from ground up so that interested investors can get a better picture of the project's development. Suipad Shield Insurance. Participating in Launchpad IDOs is a high-risk, high-reward activity that, especially in the decentralized Web 3.0 environment, requires that guardrails be implemented in order to safeguard investors' principal capital. Suipad will incorporate an innovative insurance feature tailored to each investor's risk appetite to address these risks. Next, we will quickly go through Suipad's 6-tier structure.
Suipad will employ a proprietary launch model that combines both tier-based and lottery allocations. Priority access to Suipad's tiers will be based on the amount of SUIP tokens Launchpad users stake on the platform. No surprises here, the higher the staked amount, the higher the allocation. That being said, Suipad's tiers and their staking requirements will be Ruby tier. This is the lowest and only lottery-based tier that will require the user to stake 2,500 SUIP tokens. Sapphire tier. For staking between 5,000 and 9,999 SUIP tokens, the Launchpad user will have a guaranteed allocation. Emerald tier. For staking between 10,000 and 29,999 SUIP tokens, the Launchpad user will have a guaranteed allocation. Diamond tier. For staking between 30,000 and 49,999 SUIP tokens, the Launchpad user will have a guaranteed allocation. Crown tier. For staking between 50,000 and 99,999 SUIP tokens, the Launchpad user will have a guaranteed allocation. Sui tier. This is the last and highest tier with guaranteed allocations for Launchpad users staking 100,000 and more SUIP tokens. And now, last but not least, SUIP tokenomics. Tokenomics are important because they have a significant impact on the value and usefulness of a cryptocurrency or token. The economic and financial aspects of a token, such as its issuance, distribution, and use cases, can all influence its demand and ultimately its price. With that being said, Suipad's token, SUIP, tokenomics are as follows. SUIP token use. Governance and voting. To participate in the platform's governance, users will need to hold SUIP tokens. Tier system. This means that to participate in IDOs, investors will need to hold and stake SUIP tokens. Staking. SUIP holders will be incentivized to hold their tokens for the long term by getting SUIP tokens as rewards for staking their SUIP tokens. SUIP token metrics. Suipad's token, SUIP, will have a fixed maximum total supply of 100 million tokens, of which the initial circulating supply at TGE will be 9,550,000 tokens. The initial market cap at TGE will be $573,000. The SUIP token will sell for between 2 to 3 cents in the private placement and 5 cents in the public placement. And now, a look at the SUIP token distribution. The Suipad team will receive 16% or 16 million of total token supply. Team tokens will have a vesting period with a 12-month cliff and 10% unlock monthly distribution thereafter. Suipad advisors will receive 3% or 3 million of total token supply with a vesting period with a 6-month cliff and 10% monthly unlock thereafter. Angel investors will receive 5% or 5 million of total token supply, of which 5% will be distributed at TGE and 10% unlock each month thereafter. The seed and private round will together distribute 30% or 30 million of the total SUIP token supply to investors. The vesting period for the seed round will be 8% at TGE and 10% monthly unlock thereafter, and for the private round 10% at TGE and as well 10% monthly unlock thereafter. IDO investors will receive 5% or 5 million of total SUIP token supply, of which 25% will be distributed at TGE and 25% unlock each month thereafter. 4% or 4 million of total SUIP token supply will go to providing liquidity, of which 10% will be distributed at TGE. The remaining 90% will have a vesting period with a 3-month cliff followed by a 10% unlock and then another 3-month cliff and then linear unlock over 12 months. 10% or 10 million of total SUIP token supply will go to platform production with a 1-month cliff and thereafter a linear weekly unlock over 12 months. 12% or 12 million of total SUIP token supply will go to marketing and listing expenses with a linear weekly vesting period over 12 months. And finally, 13% or 13 million of total SUIP token supply will go to Suipad's treasury. Treasury tokens will have a vesting period with a 12-month cliff and thereafter a linear weekly unlock over 12 months.
Conclusion. Suipad is operating in an exciting, dynamic niche and on its way to becoming the #1 launchpad on Sui Network, will materially be able to contribute to Sui's growth. As with any quality project, Suipad has clearly defined an ambitious roadmap which it is diligently executing on. As of this writing, we are approaching the end of 2022 and I would like to highlight 3 upcoming major milestones in Q1 of 2023, milestones that viewers should watch out for. Number 1 is Suipad's mainnet release, number 2 would be first batch of IDO projects and number 3 the SUIP token IDO. For more and detailed information please visit their homepage. Also, keep up to date not only on the latest operational developments but as well on daily community activities by visiting and also following them on Twitter.